I want to make sure that you aren't following awful SEO advice. So I'm going to break down the 9 worst pieces of SEO advice that I've ever heard while I've been involved in SEO. And I'm going to tell you why you should ignore this SEO advice, why it's bad. I started my SEO agency in 2016 and I built it to 7 figures in around 3 years. In that time, I've done SEO for Skillshare, Adobe, Stanley Black & Decker, and many local businesses. And over the years, I've heard a lot of terrible SEO advice. Maybe it's from people who are trying to give good advice and just read bad things online, or maybe they have ulterior motives. I don't know. But let's get right into it with the first one. So the first piece of bad advice is to focus on your domain authority or domain rating to rank higher. Now these are both third-party metrics, domain authority from Moz, domain ranking from Ahrefs. But what's important to keep in mind, right, third-party tools do not have the resources that Google has, right? They are third-party tools that supposedly measure your backlink strength. But the challenge with both of these metrics, and honestly every third-party metric I've ever looked at from a link standpoint, is they're very, very easy to manipulate. If you want your domain rating or your domain authority to be 80, we can make that happen very easily just by manipulating it, getting a few links from like subdomains, things like that. These are not very hard, not very expensive to manipulate and improve the DADR. Now, if your domain rating goes from 5 to 80 in a week or two, you won't see much rank improvement. Google's backlink tracking is much more involved than what third-party tools can possibly do. So, just focusing on domain authority, domain ranking, or trust flow, citation flow, those are too easy to manipulate. Also, keep this in mind if you're looking at buying expired domains or buying domains at auction. It's very simple to pay someone 10, 20 bucks, crank these third-party metrics all the way up, and then the site ends up selling at auction for a much higher price point. So you need to do a much closer look at what backlinks are actually driving those third-party scores. Just improving the third-party scores will not, on its own, drive a higher rank position. All right, so the second one, more recent. Go onto Google, type whatever your target keyword is into Google, grab the content from the #1 ranked site, copy it, paste it into ChatGPT, and ask ChatGPT to rewrite it, then put it on your website. Okay, there are a bunch of things wrong with this, right? You're basically treating ChatGPT like a very fancy content rewriter. But a content rewriter, even one as fancy as ChatGPT, isn't really going to work to get you into the first position. Now we know on that first page of results, Google is using a lot of user engagement data in order to decide what should rank and what shouldn't rank. So we definitely need to look at who is ranking high to see what their content is about, how they wrote it, how they've structured it, and we can take signals, ideas from that when we produce our own content to try to rank. But if we just copy it outright, it's very unlikely to work. We need to do what they're doing, but a little bit better. And we also want to take advice from more than just #1. We want to grab the top 5 and combine those into a piece of content that's more helpful, more comprehensive, and more authoritative than any of the individual articles on there. Don't just copy the content, have it rewritten, and paste it onto your website. That's not really going to work. So the third one, ignore content and just buy lots of links, right? We know that links to your website, to your URLs, are an important ranking factor for Google. So why not just buy a lot of them? So there are a couple of problems with this. #1, you need quality links, okay? Google knows if the links coming to your website are worth anything. And the #1 factor Google uses to determine if the link is any good or not is how much traffic is going to the URL that link is on, right? Traffic is the key indicator. So if you buy thousands and thousands of just very low quality spammy links, it's not likely to do anything to help you. Also, it's probably not going to hurt you, but it might. We don't want to do that. And on top of that, even if you said, you know what, I'm going to spend a bunch of money and I'm just going to buy a whole bunch of quality links, okay, well, that's a little bit better. And that might get you to the first page. But I just said, staying on the first page means that you have the user engagement metrics that Google is looking for. So even getting to the first page with high quality links, you won't stay there if you aren't helping Google's users, if you aren't delivering the information that Google's users want to see. All right, so #4, and I've heard this one more than I can say, get lots of social media followers. For some reason, a few people have it in their heads that having lots of social media followers helps you with SEO. But that just isn't true. Google does look at links from social media platforms. It does look at traffic from social media platforms. It can use that as a rank factor. I don't think it's a huge one, but certainly the number of followers you have on social media is not necessarily good for SEO. That being said, having more followers on social media is certainly good for your business, is certainly good for your brand, but not necessarily for your SEO. It also could help with EEAT, as I talk about in another video. With the recent Google API leak, we know that Google tracks the author across the internet. So if, as an author, you have a lot of social media content about one specific topic, that could help to show Google you're authoritative on that topic. All that being said, just going after as many social media followers as possible, not really going to help you rank. All right, so let's talk about number 5. And this is number 5 because number 5 is to just hire someone to do it on Fiverr. There's so many people on Fiverr that for $50 a month, $100 a month, they'll take over your SEO and they'll guarantee first page results. What could be better than $100 a month and first page results? The problem with SEO, right, is that it's zero sum. There are only 10 websites on the first page on the entire planet, okay? So it can be incredibly competitive to get to the first page. One of the sayings that we use a lot in my agency is that if it's cheap and it's easy, it probably isn't going to help very much, because everyone who wants to be on the first page is doing the cheap and easy things. So hiring someone for $100 on Fiverr, I don't know what they're doing for $100 a month, but not very much. There's just too much involved with the amount of time and energy in sourcing links, in editing AI written content, that for $100 a month, they can get anything reasonable done. So ignore those low-priced options on Fiverr. All right, number 6, and this is another ChatGPT one. It's very easy to hook ChatGPT's API with WordPress and just publish thousands and thousands and thousands of articles, all AI generated. A human has never looked at any of them. There's no images, no links, no tables, just blocks of text over and over and over again. And I will say, this worked when ChatGPT first came out. I've seen a lot of websites that were just blocks of text that were actually ranking, that were getting traffic. Google has been through a lot of updates since then. Google doesn't want to show its users terrible websites. They're all just AI generated dribble. So after the helpful content update in autumn of 23 and the March core update in March of 24, this technique of just overwhelming AI generated low quality content, that really isn't working anymore to actually rank. You can rank just AI generated content. Google doesn't care, and they've said this publicly, if the content is generated by AI or if it's human written. Beyond that, most AI content detectors don't work, okay? So it's very difficult, if not impossible, to tell if content was written by a human or written by AI. So don't be afraid of AI generated content, but you'll need a human editor, you'll need formatting, you'll want to put tables in there, you'll want to put images in there. Basically, you want to make it look like a nice website, which these ChatGPT auto content generators don't always do very well. All right, so number 7, and I've heard this one a lot too. All you need to do for SEO is write snappy, interesting, engaging content that are really helpful to people, and then just sit back and watch it rank. Or said another way, just write great content and you'll be fine. I've heard this technique, this strategy, referred to as publish and pray. The challenge with this is backlinks are important. If you don't have backlinks, you probably aren't going to rank unless the competition is very, very low, or your domain is already very powerful and very well established for the topic you're writing about. If you just have a regular website with not a super powerful domain, and you write excellent content, the best ever written about a topic, you're not likely going to rank unless there's no competition. Google uses links to decide if your content has enough quality, okay? Now, once you get to the first page, we know that the links become a lot less valuable because Google has real user engagement data that it's using instead. But no one goes to the 8th, 9th, 10th page of search results, right? You've probably heard the old SEO joke, where's the best place to hide a dead body? The second page of Google search. So if you're on page 10, there's no user engagement metrics that Google can use. So to decide if your content is any good and is deserving of a go at the first page of results, you're going to need links, okay? Great content alone is not going to get you to the first page. All right, coming into the end, number 8, avoid any external links because you lose link juice. I actually was on the phone with the National Better Business Bureau, and they told me that they changed all of their profile links that go to external domains to no follow so that they would rank higher. And that's not how it works. Okay, that was years ago. I hope that they got someone who knows a little bit better now. But your link juice, your link authority, whatever you want to call it, that does not go away when you put external links on there. And in fact, with a lot of testing that we have done at our agency, and I've seen other agencies do, when you have external links to non-competitive trusted sites like harvard.edu, like Forbes, like Trustpilot, like Reddit, like Wikipedia, it actually improves the ability of your content to rank. Right? External links help you rank better, which makes sense. Google wants us to link to authoritative content because it shows that we've put the work into the content that we've written, right? Maybe we're citing sources, maybe we're linking to additional information, but those are things that are good for Google's users, that we've done those things. So linking to authoritative external websites helps ranking. It doesn't hurt it. Link out. And number 9. Run Google ads, because when Google sees all of the excellent user engagement data when you pay to get traffic to the site, you're going to rank better in SEO. Now, this one on the surface can be tempting to believe because we know Google, of course, does use user engagement data for rank position. And an easy way to get user engagement data is to just pay Google with ads to send people to your website. Sadly, it doesn't work. Google has said many times, we've tested it, I know other agencies have tested it. At the end of the day, the user engagement data that Google gets with Google Ads is not used for SEO. They're two very, very different platforms, and doing ads doesn't help you with SEO, and doing SEO won't help you with ads. They're kept quite separate, okay? So don't believe that one either. So now that you know what things not to do for SEO, I want you to focus on what you should be doing. I want you to check out this video where I break down the 7 most popular SEO services that my agency offers. I'm going to give you my pricing, my costs, and an overview of what the service is and how you can do it.